chat with you guys about why I think that people are out of touch with humanity and my views on certain things. And please remember, these are my views, my opinions, and everybody has an opinion. And I'm thankful for you if you sit here and listen to what I have to say. And if you have anything to say, please say it below in the comments. Like, I'm really open and I don't judge anything. And if you are negative or whatever, I probably won't respond because I don't deal with negativity. This is all positivity and no judgment zone. But let's get into it. And I want to talk about the news first of all, and I'm going to give examples of why I think that humanity is so out of touch with most people, and that's what I want to talk about today, is humanity. So basically, let's talk about these student loans. First of all, I'm going to give you a round of applause, Joe Biden. Now, I ain't got no student loans or anything like that, but for the people who do, I'm so excited for you and happy that you got this little break and you got what you were hoping for. So let's talk about it. A lot of people are so upset, and you know what I hear? It's the most selfish response I've ever heard. What about me, me, when I had to go to school? What about me? First of all, when that was happening, it was a different time. And if you are awake and open and see with your eyes open, then you know that the only thing in life that's a guarantee is change and death. So exactly, so change is a constant thing. We are not back then when you went to school, and it would have been great if this would have happened when you were in school, but you're not. So I feel like everybody should be clapping for the people who did get this change, because it's a beautiful change, especially with things that are going on in the world. There's so much things that we can't afford, and so much stuff that we have to struggle for just to get ahead sometimes. And I feel for those people who couldn't afford their student loans and things like that, but they took out a loan because they really wanted to do something with themselves. Everybody wants to do better. And for the people who are complaining, oh, this is going to come out of my taxes, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if that's true or not, but if it is, so what? I want to know why, because I believe that everybody has a humanitarian duty to do. That's what I believe. I feel like everything is connected. We're all connected, whether you like it or not. And you can sit here and say, oh, no, we're not, but we are. We live in the same world. We live on the same planet. When we drive, we have to trust each other to pay attention, or please don't hit my car, or please, don't do anything, don't shoot me. Whether you know it or not, subconsciously, we have to trust someone else that we don't know, and a complete stranger. So I feel like we are all just connected, and life is all about change. And I feel like we need to clap for the people who get to see that change. Just how when the world was, segregated and stuff, and now that we're not segregated, I'm pretty sure like everybody is clapping for the change. Not everybody, of course, you have those people, but what I'm trying to say is that it turned out to be a beautiful change. And I feel like people have to let the world change, because if there's no change, there's no growth. And I know I don't want to talk about politics and stuff like that, but I know like some people aren't happy with Joe Biden and this, that, and the third, but I feel like everybody should put themselves in someone else's shoes and give everybody a chance and participate in the humanity of life. There's so many people who say, oh, you wouldn't do this for me, why would I do it for you? And that statement right there, I feel is just selfish. Like, it just screams selfish. And if somebody doesn't do something for you in return, okay, then you know what you need to do. Just go away. Just don't, do that thing again, or don't deal with that person anymore. But get that selfishness out of your body. And I feel like everybody needs to learn to give, and don't be so nasty. I feel like the world is just turned into like such a selfish place. And everybody needs to get back to like their humanitarian duty. I don't believe that God just sent you here to make all this money just for yourself. No, you're supposed to help someone else. Help thy brother, help thy sister, whatever you have to do. And I'm not saying that what I just said was in the Bible, but it's what I said, okay? But anyway, and when I see it on the news, and the point and the thing that they say, like especially like on Faulkner Focus and Outnumbered, I cannot stand those shows. But the job that I have, sometimes people watch that and I just catch it and have to watch it too. But anyway, they're just so selfish and such a big crybaby. Like, you have all this money, you come from a family of money, and you're so upset that someone else gets the chance to have less debt. Why are you mad that somebody else has less debt? Whether it comes out of your taxes or not, it's your humanitarian duty in life to help someone else. So look at it as that you're helping someone else. And most people who are rich don't even pay taxes. So cut it out. And you guys act like you're so worried about, well, what about the middle class buck or the lower class buck? You don't know what it's even like to not even have money to eat, or have money for your family to grow, or come from family where you can go to college without a debt. So save it, like just save that. And the fact that you report it in such a selfish manner, what about me, what about me, what about me? And I'll show you guys a clip.
Am I going to get my money back? Of course not. So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
No, it's not anybody got screwed. When we started,
of course we did. My buddy had fun, bought a car, went on vacations. I saved my money. He made more.
You know, it's all about what about me, what about me. Do something for somebody else. And I'm not gonna say that I've always been like a humanitarian person, because I wasn't. And when I did become that, I had to go somewhere else to see, like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to help people, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. I don't care. Like, I pray that when God blesses me with so much money, I'll be able to spread and give money, do something valuable to somebody who needs it. You know, it's our humanitarian duty to look out for each other. But everybody's so against each other that they don't see it. They don't even see it. And sometimes I feel like God has to kind of push us to do like a humanitarian for someone else. And it's just a lot of like things that some people have to be awake to see. Like, for example, if you're at the right place, right time, maybe you see a baby in the street or whatever, your humanitarian duty is to pick that baby up out of the street and put it somewhere safe. You know, things like that. And you know, back to the news, because that's why I'm dressed like a little reporter today. Because most of what I want to say comes from the news, because that's how we get, you know, information, how we know what's going on around us. And when I hear the news, all I think about is such selfishness and hypocrisy and just critical for no reason. Like, for example, when the news criticizes Joe Biden for bringing the Afghans refugees over here, and they were just criticizing the whole time. Like, if our country was on fire or whatever the heck, was underseas, whatever, wouldn't you want somebody to do the humanitarian thing and bring you over here? Like, stop being so selfish. And they criticize how he did it, all this other stuff. There's no perfect way of doing anything. And I'm pretty sure, like, if it was somebody else, there would have been like imperfect too. So I think that nothing is perfect. I think that the whole message is that he did do the humanitarian thing, but they're so out of touch on the news with humanitarian feelings and humanitarian heart that they don't see it. And they report so much selfishness out into the world, and everything is energy, and that energy just comes out to the world. And I feel like the world is just so negative and selfish and cold and unhumanitarian like. So I feel like people shouldn't watch the news all the time. I mean, of course, know what's going on in your world, things like that, but try to get that energy out of your ears and get back to humanitarian feelings and your humanitarian duty in life. And before y'all go on and talk to me about, you keep talking about Joe Biden and how good of a job he's done, I already said that I don't agree with everything that he does. And I am not a Joe Biden fan, and I am not a Republican, and I am not a Democrat. I'm an independent. I am not for either party. I am only for who is right. So don't come for me. But all I'm saying is that whenever you can do something kind for somebody, please do something kind. And that's why sometimes I feel like people's blessings are blocked. They're so worried about, what about me? What about me? What about me? You know, don't worry about you for a second, and then you'll see how blessed you are when you can put such humanitarian feelings into somebody else. Like, all those blessings will just come back to you. So all those blessings will just come to you when you can do something for somebody else. That's what I believe, and that's what I've seen for myself also. Be kind, be gentle, and before you can complain, always know that there's somebody worse than you out there. And before you can complain, think about people in third world countries. Please think about them and how much they have to struggle every single day just to have the things that you don't even appreciate. I highly recommend that you write down everything that you're thankful for and grateful for, and write down what you can do for someone else, whether it be pay for the next person in line's meal, things like that. And I feel like that is one of the most kindest things and can make the littlest difference in somebody's life. One day I was having the worst day ever. I just was mad at the world. I don't even know what I was mad about, but I went to Taco Bell. I was planning on getting me some big old food, good food, you know, and then somebody paid for it for me. And I remember, like, my whole mood just instantly changed, and I had to remember, hey, there's somebody out there who is doing worse than you and who doesn't even get to see this blessing that you just got. And it's a blessing. It may be little, but it's a blessing. And please be kind to your parents. And that's a blessing within itself. Take care of them. When they get older, try your best to take care of them. I see so many people just throw their parents in a home or don't come to visit them. You don't get to have those parents forever. And if you don't have a parent, I'm so sorry. And whoever is a father figure, mother figure for you, be there for them, be kind to them. But be kind to your parents. Take care of them. It is a blessing. Even if you can just take your mother out, your father out for a day, please do. It's a blessing. Blessings come in small forms, big forms, small forms, medium forms, whatever. But please have humanitarian feelings. Do something kind every day. Be kind. The only thing that can stop the world from bleeding right now is kindness. We are so out of touch with kindness. Because even nowadays, I see that children are so mean. And one of my biggest fears, especially like when my nieces and nephews go to school, is someone being mean to them. Because the world is so mean, and children are being taught that by their kids. And I know, like, there's someone else out there be like, who would teach them that? Like, sometimes you don't know that your actions are not kind. Maybe you don't realize it, but the child realizes it and they pick it up. Your kids, they go to school and they make fun of people, probably because they hear you talking about people. Stop talking about people. That's something else that needs to be said. Stop talking about people. Whatever somebody else is doing is not benefiting your life. Whatever somebody else is doing has nothing to do with you. You need to solely focus on trying to make the world better by doing your part. And you can start by doing that by just being kind. Be kind to your children. Stop yelling at them. Be kind. Teach them what humanitarian feelings are. Teach them what humanity is. I don't believe that. I'm going to say it again. I don't believe that God or whoever you believe in sent you down here on earth just to work yourself to death and accumulate all this money just for yourself. You need to give back. We all have a duty to do in life, and that is to be kind. That is the biggest blessing you can do for somebody, is to be kind. And I'm sorry if you guys heard my fan this whole time, but it's hot and it needs to be on. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Please limit yourself and pay attention to what you're watching. Don't just watch something. Pay attention, because I promise you, on the news, they are so selfish and unkind. Everything is energy, and energy is a constant change. And the world is trying to change for better, for better, for better. If you guys see it or not, I feel like it's a slow coming, but I feel like little by little, the world is becoming better, whether we see it or not. And the fact that these kids get to see something better, especially like with their, colleges and their debt, is beautiful to me. And if I have to pay that out of my taxes, as long as it ain't making me dead broke, or I'm gonna like die and suffer, as long as, it's beneficial, I'm clapping for them, and everybody else should be clapping for them. And shame on these 50-year-olds, 40 years old. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself. Mad because me. Y'all went to school back in like 19 whatever.
She almost 40, acting like a little bitch.
The world is in a constant change, and that's something that people need to focus on. The world is always changing, okay? And shame on you for putting bad energy out in the world and then have the nerve to say, why is the world like this? Stop putting bad energy out here. You're supposed to be influencing the world for better. You're supposed to be reporting you're supposed to be reporting good things and reporting the good changes that are happening in the world, not your own nasty energy. So that's all I wanted to say. And learn to clap for others. Be kind. Be gentle. Do something kind for somebody. Ask yourself, do I have humanitarian feelings? Am I doing my humanitarian duty? And how can you? The smallest little things. Give somebody $1. Give a random kid a nice lollipop. Whatever. But just be kind, and remember to always do your humanitarian duty, and remember why you're sent on earth. Find your purpose, and when you find your purpose, you're going to give, and you're going to know, like, hey, life is beautiful. The world is beautiful. And I can make it beautiful by just having good energy and being kind to someone else and giving. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys found the message in my words, and if you didn't, I'm sorry, but like, comment, and subscribe, and come back. Bye.